buried in the middle of nowhere. This place was never meant to be found.
Madam, this place looks cursed. It's been forgotten for almost 100 years in Arabia.
Good. Then we will turn it into a legendary place, the most world-class place.
As you can see, the workers begin by clearing everything that made this place feel abandoned. The trash, the dead vines, the loose sand, and the broken layers covering the spider's body. At this moment, it almost feels like they are waking up something that has been buried in the desert for years. Here, the goal is not to change the soul of the house, but to reveal it again. This first step is critical because before gold, marble, or gemstones can be added, the old damage has to be exposed. A palace cannot be built on top of weakness, especially with a structure this detailed. Next, the team starts repairing the main body, the giant legs, the entrance, and the carved spider face. This part matters because every curve tells the story of the original design. If the workers rush it, the house would lose the strange power that made it unforgettable.
Almost done with this section.
As shown here, the abandoned stone slowly becomes cleaner and stronger. The dark entrance no longer feels like a forgotten cave. It begins to feel like the doorway to something rare. Then the luxury work begins. The workers add polished marble tones, gold web patterns, deep blue panels, and gemstone details across the spider's body. This step is critical because the finish must follow the shape naturally, like the palace was always meant to look this way. Here, the courtyard is rebuilt to match the scale of the house. Broken ground becomes clean stone paving, fountains are added, plants return, and the front space starts to feel alive again.
Almost there. Just a bit more smoothing. Perfect. Done.
As you can see, this is where the emotion of the renovation changes. It is no longer just repair, it becomes a rescue, taking a strange abandoned ruin and giving it pride again.
All right, that should do it. Looks perfect. Almost there. Almost there. Lowering it down. Perfect, perfect. Looks good.
In the final stage, the workers polish the marble legs, sharpen the gold details, clean the entrance, and balance every luxury element so nothing feels random or cheap. Personally, I think the most powerful part is that they did not hide the spider shape, they honored it. What once looked like a forgotten monster in the sand, now stands like a golden desert palace, with its own legend.
Icy Laments. The eternal dearth.
At first, this room feels more like a forgotten cave than a place for comfort. As you can see here, the floor was cracked, the walls were covered with vines, and the whole space looked damp, dark, and completely abandoned. But this room already had something special, the roof-like ceiling and wall structure. Here, the renovation does not erase that strange identity, it keeps it, cleans it, and turns it into the main design feature. This part is important because a movie room needs atmosphere, comfort, and focus. Before adding the big screen, sofa, lighting, or decoration, the damaged layers have to be removed first. This step is critical because if the room still feels dirty, cold, or unstable, it will never become a relaxing cinema space. As shown here, the workers clear the debris, restore the walls, repair the floor, and bring the structure back under control. At this stage, the room starts changing from an abandoned shell into a private theater. As you can see, the finished room is built around the large screen. The sofa faces the screen directly, the warm ceiling lights create a cinematic mood, and the organic wall structure makes the space feel unique instead of generic. Here, the design works because every detail supports the same story. The dark stone walls, bronze spider sculpture, animal statues, desert artwork, and glossy oasis-style floor all create an immersive feeling, almost like a private cinema hidden inside a sculptural cave. This part of the renovation is smart because it does not simply cover the old room with expensive furniture. It uses the original cave-like shape and turns it into a luxury movie experience. In my personal opinion, this is one of the most memorable rooms in the house. It feels bold, mysterious, and cinematic, not like a normal home theater, but like a space designed to be experienced. This room looked completely abandoned. As you can see here, the old brick walls were stained with moisture, the floor was cracked, trash was scattered everywhere, and vines had started taking over the space. But even in that condition, this room still had strong potential. Here, the large glass walls, the high ceiling, and the mountain view already gave it a grand feeling. The problem was that everything felt cold, dirty, and lifeless. This part of the renovation is important because the living room is the heart of the house. Before adding luxury furniture or lighting, the damaged layers must be removed, the floor must be repaired, and the structure must feel clean and stable. As shown here, the workers first clear the debris, treat the damp surfaces, and open the room back up. This step is critical because a large living room can easily feel empty if the layout is not controlled properly. At this stage, the room starts turning into a real gathering space. As you can see, the final design uses a large sofa, warm lighting, stone details, and a strong central table to make the room feel grounded and comfortable. Here, the wildcat head on the wall becomes the main focal point. It connects the interior directly to the identity of the house, so the room does not feel like a generic luxury space. This part works well because the glass wall keeps the mountain view visible, while the gold details, reflective floor, and warm materials bring elegance inside. The room feels powerful but still livable. In my personal opinion, this is one of the strongest transformations in the house. It turns a damaged, abandoned shell into a bold and elegant living room that finally feels alive again. This room had a powerful shape from the beginning. As you can see here, even when it was abandoned, the circular layout and glass dome already made the space feel important. But the room itself was damaged, dirty, and almost completely taken over by plants. The brick walls were stained with moisture, the floor was covered with trash, and cactus plants had grown through the abandoned interior. Here, the room felt more like a forgotten ruin than a place for meetings or serious decisions. This part of the renovation is important because a meeting room needs order, balance, and control. Before adding the long table, leather chairs, lighting, and luxury finishes, the workers have to remove the damaged layers and restore the structure. As shown here, the floor is cleared, the walls are repaired, and the glass dome becomes the center of the design. This step is critical because a meeting room must feel professional and stable, not chaotic or unfinished. At this stage, the room starts changing into a formal executive space. As you can see, the finished design uses the dome, chandelier, and long table to create a strong centerline, making the whole room feel organized and powerful. Here, the desert-inspired floor, carved wall panels, warm stone, and cactus details connect the final design back to the abandoned room's original wild atmosphere. The room does not erase its past, it transforms it. This part works well because the space is both beautiful and practical. The screen, bar area, storage cabinets, and evenly spaced chairs make it useful for presentations, private meetings, and long conversations. In my personal opinion, this is one of the smartest transformations in the house. It turns a ruined, plant-filled room into a luxury meeting space that feels professional, memorable, and full of character. This room started as a dark, forgotten space. As you can see here, the brick walls were covered with moisture stains, moss